Dr. David Ray, Murray State's new director of the music business program, invited drummer Mark Schulman to campus. Let's go find out what famous bands he's been a part of. Have you ever wondered how to make it in the biz? Mark Schulman, a professional drummer who's performed with such artists as Pink, Velvet Revolver, Sheryl Crow, Cher, Stevie Nicks, and who is currently the drummer for the band Foreigner, visited Murray State's Farrell Performance Hall.
I think that everybody has a story to tell, and everybody has something to give. And about 20 years ago, I started doing drumming clinics, and I started realizing that what resonated most with the people at the clinics was the stories and the philosophies of success, as opposed to just drumming technology. And I realized about 6 years ago that why should I limit my story and why should I limit what I have to share to simply drummers when I could share it with everybody else? So I started presenting my seminars to college kids, to kids in detention camps, and I started doing corporate presentations as well, and I've worked with IBM and Cisco, and I've worked with dozens and dozens of colleges in America and all over the world, actually. So I have a story to tell, and if my story can enhance everybody's life, it's in my audience, then I'm happy to do it.
His talk gave students interested in music business, public relations, and organizational communication some crucial insight and knowledge into the ways of being a success, no matter the industry.
I realized that the foundation of success to me is the understanding that we can change and shift and control our attitudes at a moment's notice. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control our attitudes about what happens to us. And if you shift or change or control your attitude is what actually determines your behavior. And your behavior is what determines the results or consequences. So by changing, shifting, controlling my attitude, I can control or change my behavior, producing different results. So I just share my philosophies about that to enable people to know that they can actually do the same thing.
In his talk, Mark highlighted the importance of attitude, communication, and conflict resolution. His stories from his life as a drummer included how attitudes change, and the way you act can determine how successful you are in the industry.
By changing or shifting the attitude, you're causing a change or shift in your behavior. By causing a change or shift in your behavior, then the consequences or the results then change. So it gives you control to be able to actually sort of foresee, well, if I have this kind of attitude, it's generally going to produce this behavior, which will generally produce these results.
Murray State students were lucky enough and delighted to hear Mark's countless stories and anecdotes of his years in the foreign world of rock and roll. He talked about auditioning for Cher 3 times, and even his current tour with Foreigner.
You got a chance to see the seminar, and a few of the highlights would be the understanding that you can shift your attitude, the understanding that all we have is now, and life is just a series of nows, the understanding that you can change have-tos in your life to get-tos, to produce different results, the understanding that nervousness is a manifestation that you create, and if you put the energy outward, then you can actually overcome nervousness. And I think those were some of the primary points, and I exemplified with fun anecdotes and fun stories that you got to hear and the others got to hear, and hopefully you got a little bit of videotape of some of that stuff as well.